I'm Lisa Bailey.
And I'm Patrick Bailey with iqless.com. Today is June 18th, 2017, and this is episode 8. Okay, so what are we studying? Well, this is kind of the end of the school year. We're done with the school year. It's June, so we're kind of haven't done it. We've been busy, so we haven't done any videos for 2 months. But right now it's summertime, so we're not doing a lot, right? What are we down to?
So official school has been out for about 3 weeks. And one of those weeks the kids went to camp. So they have had about 2 weeks off. So they've just kind of been hanging out and relaxing and rejuvenating, which every kid needs to do and person needs to do. And,
Yeah, but we're not going to let him just lay around all summer. It's going to be light. He's been, so far as things that aren't just laying around. He has swim. Corbin.
Okay.
Corbin has swim practice.
Yes.
They both went to camp, and then Kendall has nothing beyond that so far.
Correct.
So I'm just saying that.
But she is 9.
But she is 9. But then for the rest of the summer, we're going to do a few things. We're going to catch Kendall up on her math, so we need to do multiplication tables.
Well, we're not actually catching her up. We're getting her
we're
ahead.
getting her advanced. Oh, okay, we're getting her ahead. That's true.
So for the rest of the summer, essentially starting next week, Kendall, our soon-to-be 4th grader, she's going to be working with Dad here every day doing multiplication flashcards, multiplication drills, so that our goal is by the time we start the next academic year, which is the middle of August, she will be fairly confident in her multiplication and have it memorized, which isn't going to be 100% memorized because you always just need to practice for several years to get it. But that's what she is going to do on a daily basis, is work on her multiplication. And Corbin is going to, just like we did last summer, Corbin and I are going to essentially just jam through some more math, fill in some holes in his learning, so that by the time the next academic year starts in mid-August, he will essentially be at grade level for math. I think he's kind of there now.
Yeah.
But I think he would be missing some skills if I just, pushed him right now into his appropriate grade level math. So
yeah, I'd rather take the long road and get it all done and get him stops really solid, because he's really good at math. He just kind of got a year of fluster in the school system, which was weird.
Well, and if you're not necessarily really good at math, you kind of get pushed to the side, and he unfortunately got pushed to the side several times. So we'll just be doing that. And
then other thing, which is not necessarily a summer school thing, is I want Corbin at his age. Now he's an age where he should be able to read a lot more, and he hasn't been reading as much as I'd like. And so I'm cutting some deals with him, trying to get him to read some books. So I got some deals going on. Incentives, He wants a big giant Lego set, so I made a big piece. I made a big puzzle piece. I'm going to try to get him to read certain books. It may take a while. I'm trying to figure out ways to incentivize him to read, to really make him a good reader who likes to read and loves reading. And if I can't do that, at least make him a good reader. If he doesn't like to read, but at least make him know that is a good reader and will read because he knows he has to. Because you get ahead by reading. If you're not reading in business or doing things, you're falling behind. I don't want him to do what I did. I was a really good reader in middle school and high school, and then after college, I didn't read for a decade. Not really, and that cost me a lot, I think, career-wise. And I don't want him to fall into that trap. Anyway, so that's what we've been studying.
Did you want to talk about what we've been studying at the end of the year?
Yeah, what do we study?
Well, I think we left off the last video talking about Step Up to Ready. and how the kids, we were waiting for some more materials, and then we were going to start to organize their writing. And so we did that for the last 2 months, and it went really well. In fact, Corbin had a writing assignment that was due at his Monday school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I essentially said, well, do it the way you want to do it. And it was on viruses.
Yeah.
And then I said, and when you turn it in and get your score, we're going to redo it the way I want you to do it, organizing your ideas.
Yeah.
And I think he learned a lot from that because he had to present his viruses, and it was very sporadic, and I don't think he felt very comfortable, and it felt like he was floating here and there with his ideas. And if I remember correctly, he said once he and I redid it together, I wish I had this, because it was very organized, and Step Up to Writing helps you with your presentation skills too. So
yeah, because he has coming from me who has no natural ability to write, he has a natural ability to write. I don't know at what level, but he has some kind of natural flow. He can write interesting things.
Yeah.
He just needs help to organize it all. And so I think that's going to help him once he knows those tools. Just like I was trying to get him to memorize how to spell things correctly. Because once he was having a problem with that. And so if you want to be a good writer, you need to know how to spell and know how to structure things. And once you put those things in place, I think he'll do really well. A lot better than me or you, because he seems to flow better than me, the way he has some natural ability that I do not have. I have to work at it, and I can't do that. But the structure helps. Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay.
We pretty much did really well with Step Up to Writing.
That's what we've been studying. Okay, what have we bought? It's been a couple months, and we bought a lot of things, but nothing too special. You got a book from Amazon, which is this guy. What is this? Handy Pages?
Well, that doesn't show it accurately. I was waiting for this to come into the mail, which is a supplement for Step Up to Writing.
Just a supplement.
Yeah, it's just a supplement. It essentially goes over the pages, how to do things. And this one was more for Kindle.
Okay.
They have different levels. This is level 1 to help her with her Step Up to Writing.
So is it worthwhile?
Absolutely, yeah. And Corbin also got one.
Level 2.
But he got level 2, so it's just a little bit more in depth. Has a little bit more information. So fortunately for us, Kendall will eventually get this. And so it just helped them so that I don't have to take the teacher's binder and take papers out of there and copy them and scan them and stuff. They're all just the pages they need are in here. And then they use these to write and organize and do the Step Up to Writing method. And Corbin did viruses, and Kendall actually did too. She did polar bears and bonsai trees.
Bonsai tree. Had fun with that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had that. And then we have swim lessons. They're doing private swim lessons with one of the coaches, both of them. They're just doing a half-hour lesson with them. Which now I guess is getting weird, because I guess they're coming down on these. We have this great system, or did, where a bunch of the young lifeguards can teach. And they put little advertisements up, and they charge different amounts per half hour, hour.
Well, depending on their experience.
Yeah, it depends on their experience and what they want to charge. It's a free market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're using this one girl. She's real nice. She's a little older. She's not one of the young ones. She's probably 22.
Yeah, something
like that.
She's great.
She's great. But now the system's coming down. They want them to buy liability insurance, each one of them, so they can teach lessons. And the pool. They're already lifeguards, and they already have a system going. So we'll see hopefully that changes, the pool, whatever. They're lifeguards, and they're in the pool with other lifeguards. And
the lifeguards are watching them while they're giving the private lessons.
But and they already have some kind of system because I can't go in there and just do my own private lessons, right?
No.
I have to go register with the system and they know who I am.
I think you have to be employed by the city.
Which makes they're already lifeguards. That's just dumb.
So we'll see.
We'll see. Okay. They're still doing that right now for at least a few more weeks until that goes into effect or gets stopped. I don't know. Sweat Pledge. We bought the Sweat Pledge. If you're not familiar with Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, Dirty Jobs, he's all for trying to get people to work hard and do good jobs and there's all these jobs that are non-college jobs, you might say, plumbing and different things or work on the farm where actually nowadays they're making really good money. But there's this whole thing where people are if you don't go to college and get 4 degrees and you're a plumber, you're worthless. Okay, that plumber's making, 6 figures. But you got your English degree, fantastic for you. If that's what you wanted to do, fine. But don't look down on a plumber. Get off your high horse. And so he's trying to encourage people like that who want to go into the trades. And so he's got, aside from, that's one of his charities he tries to do. And he tries to raise money and he tries to help people and he tries to educate and tries to encourage people to go in those kind of things. And so part of that to raise money and also just a good thing, he's got this thing called the Sweat Pledge. And it's kind of an ethics, it's kind of a pledge saying, and you can go to this link and read through it. But it's basically like, I believe I should work. I believe I should, that I'm not a whiner and all these things.
I'm not
entitled. And so you could read through it if you agree with it. And we did. We're like, oh, that's cool. So we bought a poster. We haven't gone over it with the kids yet.
We haven't, not yet.
We'll probably do that soon.
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things that we believe what's written here, and so we want to have our kids understand this as they work in life, because that's why we're going to school, is so they learn how to get a job eventually, right? And then how do you act doing a job? We're not entitled. Sometimes we all feel entitled. I got my degree, I deserve money. No. You work, you help other people out.
So I discovered this Sweat Pledge from one of my Facebook homeschool groups that I was part of, and some of the moms were commenting on it.
Did they like it?
Oh, they loved it.
Oh,
they thought it was great. In fact, they were complaining that a response to the Sweat Pledge was, I'm not going to sign this. This from some other person, I'm not sure who it was. I'm not going to sign this. This is ridiculous. Why should I sign this? And so maybe it was a setup because it made everybody want to read it and see it.
Could have been.
So
there's always someone who's unreasonable.
Yeah. A couple of my homeschool groups that I'm part of was talking about it, so I chimed into it and read it and talked to Patrick about it, and so we decided to order it, and that's it.
And he sells them on eBay for. What was it, like $15 or something?
And you can get a signed one.
Oh, and he'll sign one for like $100?
Yeah.
But all the money goes to his charity that helps people into scholarships for trades, like welders and stuff, Yeah. And which are very good jobs, Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? So more swim lessons.
Which have been great. They have paid off. I'm so glad we did that instead of sticking with the group lessons.
Yeah.
Just wasn't, when you have a half an hour with a group of 8 kids with one instructor, your kid doesn't really get much one-on-one, just a few minutes out of that half an hour. And it wasn't paying off the way we wanted it to. And so...
Well, but I think years ago when we were doing the beginning lessons...
Well, those are greght.
Those were great. When the kids were just barely learning to swim, they were great. But now that they can swim and these are a little more advanced, like how do you properly do the butterfly? Yeah, I agree. They're not getting that the one-on-one's a little better. And the swim team lessons. On the swim team, they're a little more serious for the most part. So, okay, anyway, our rec monthly that we're paying for our access to the pools. They had to pay for a yearbook, $5 for his Monday school.
And that was actually 2 yearbooks.
Oh, it was 2 yearbooks. Oh.
And they were on discs.
Oh, that's right. We watched that.
And so this way each kid will get a yearbook to take with them as they grow older. And some of the moms and I were talking about maybe, because I would be willing to pay more to also get a hard copy in a book.
to go get one made.
Yeah.
There's places that'll do it.
So I think next year we might also get a hard copy book.
Okay.
So we'll see.
And there's crafts. Every so often after school they'll do crafts. And they just need a couple of bucks, so that's
$5. Usually it's like $1 per kid. These great moms that I have become wonderful friends with do crafts after school. And usually they'll charge like $1 per kid. And so I'll give them like a 20. And because some of the parents don't pay or some of the kids...
Or you forget or get busy.
So I just... they're doing all this work and effort, and so I give them...
All those parts cost money.
Yeah. Well, the last one of the year was a big one.
Oh,
it was those...
shakers.
Yeah, those thinking... I forget what they call them. It's one of those where you put glitter in it and you shake it. It's like a snow globe, but it was kind of, and you put your own little...
Yeah, they're saying what floats and what sinks.
Well, and...
Guess.
No, that's not
what it was.
This is not educational, honey.
It was just for fun. Oh, okay. There was a bunch of Lego guys in it and stuff.
Well, and you got to pick what you wanted to put in it. So, anyway. It cost a little bit more money, so I took it from the school budget.
That's fine. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
More swim lessons. Boogie boards. We got lucky and ran across. So we were at Costco, and we bought one of these before. It looks like they've kind of updated them.
A
little more school friendly. And so they had different colors. And I think I find the board here. So maybe you can see this a little bit easier than just looking at this.
Yeah.
But they had, 4 colors? They had
3.
Blue, red, yellow. Just 3?
Green.
Blue, red, yellow, and green?
Blue, red, yellow, and green.
So we haven't even cracked them open yet.
Blue, red, and green. That was
Blue, red, and
I think
green. So. I thought there was a yellow.
No.
No? Okay. Anyway, we just walked across there and saw them for $20. Now, we bought one of these before. Magnet one to stick on the fridge. But basically, it was kind of like this without the blue around it.
Well, and it's not as cool looking as this.
And it's fine. But we used it and liked it. So if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like I don't know what you call it.
A reverse whiteboard?
A reverse whiteboard. When you write on it, and it doesn't need a special pen per se, but when you write on this, it's e-paper. And so it'll come up in green like you can see there, but it's also electronic, so there's a button there. You push the button, and it erases it. Oh, I guess you can kind of. Yeah, and then you push the button, and it wipes it out. It sends a charge to the whole thing and wipes it out. And the nice thing about this is now it's got a little rubber on it, so it's probably a little easier to hold for the kids.
It's got a lock button.
And it's actually got a lock button.
So what you write on it, you can lock it down.
Which is a little nice, because the other one doesn't have that.
And ours is about half the size of that one, our old one.
And I think this one actually has a cover for it, too.
Yeah, on the back.
Oh, yeah, okay, it's got come with a cover. Mm-hmm. And does it have magnets on this one? Yeah. Oh, it does have magnets. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can stick on the fridge. So for $20, which is kind of what we paid last time.
It's a good upgrade.
Good upgrade. We think those will work well.
But you notice they're not open yet because we're not going to open them until school starts.
Yeah, my daughter already saw them.
They're supposed to be a surprise.
I know, I'm like, you can't open those, I'll take them back. And if you bug me about them, I'll take them back. Okay, so that's kind of all we bought this year. In addition, since now it's kind of the end of the year, I went through all of our budget and kind of went bit by bit to kind of categorize it. And so here is what our categories I came up with. And so here is our first year of school and what we spent in total. So we spent $2,029 on books. That's our curriculum and our extra books.
And books for next year.
But yeah, that's also books for next year. So we spent, I think, $600 on books for next year. Something like that. Or was it less?
I think it's
where's the less 400. I have a thing here. I can find it. Maybe.
I think it was
it 400?
400. But we still need to order some more.
The point being...
Eventually.
No, there's 400. Sorry. No, that's BitBox. No, there is. Yeah, 400. You're right. So out of that, 400 is for next year. So you could drop this by $400 if you wanted to. Classroom tools, just a bunch of little random tools we bought, including the thermometer and different things. Field trips, I took a couple of field trips, so hopefully this next year we'll probably take more. Mm-hmm. Just expenses we did for Monday school, like backpacks and different things, school supplies. Sports, which includes our monthly rec fee,
Spring.
$1,000. Just random supplies, test prep just a little bit, and then the bit box that I spent all that money on was $340. But the kids are having a lot of fun with it, and so that's our budget for the year. So
that's some of these things we would have done anyway, even if we hadn't homeschooled. We would have done a lot of those sports, even if we didn't homeschool.
That's true.
We would have done the swimming. We probably would have done the rec center. And when you think of supplies for school, whether it's for homeschool or whether it's for public school, you have to pay for those anyway. So even though, like, I look at $4,500, I'm like,
it seems like a lot.
But
it's over the whole year. It's over 12 months, though.
And it kind of counts for a whole year and curriculum for next year.
Yeah.
And some of these things we would have put money into anyway if the kids were going to public
and if
school.
people honestly sat down and wrote how much they spent on sports a year, if they really wrote down how much they spent on sports a year for all their kids, it's probably like at least $3,000.
Well, it depends on the kid.
Depends on the kid and what they're doing. But if you have 2 or 3 kids and they're in soccer, and you actually started writing everything down that you spent on sports, it's probably bigger than this budget.
So definitely, I think, books, that is definitely a homeschool thing.
Yeah.
Classroom tools, well, that's a homeschool thing because we wouldn't have bought a lot of those tools if we weren't homeschooling, because the public school would have provided some form of those.
Yeah, if we weren't schooling at all.
The field trips, that's a homeschool. Although at public school you do go on field trips, but it's a lot less.
I would guess if we weren't schooling at all, there's some of these things we just wouldn't have bought.
Yeah.
The stuff that we would have bought, yeah, there might be at least $1,500. I mean, all that sports.
Yeah, I was going to say $1,000 to $1,500 that you would have been,
would have
even if
anyway.
they would have been in public school.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So.
Okay.
That you don't really think about, and boy, it does add up when you keep track of it. Don't stop keeping track of it.
But it's interesting for other people to see how much you really spend. Yeah, if you don't keep track of it, you're like, oh yeah, I don't spend that kind of money. Well, yeah, start keeping track of your money, you'll be surprised. People probably spend more on Big Macs a year than what we spend on this sometimes, because people spend a lot of money.
I would expect this to be a lot less next year.
No,
because a lot of the school supplies we already have, backpacks we have,
I expect it just to shift. I expect your books is going to go like at least in half, if not less. Yeah. But I bet you your field trips, you're going to go, oh, I'm okay with this. Now that we've got things done, it's like, hey, I'm okay. So I'm okay with this budget. If we spend $5,000 a year on this, we can afford it. We don't have car payments and things like that, and it's worthwhile to spend money on the kids in this fashion. And so if you want to go spend more, I'm okay spending that kind of money, even maybe a little more. And if we spend more money on field trips for the kids and they go to the museum more and they go to an opera or something like that, that's fine. Mm-hmm. We might spend a little more on sports. We might buy a 3D printer, which every school needs, right?
Wow, that'll really knock that up.
It would.
Is that a school expense?
That's a school expense. That's really a school expense. And a laser cutter. And power tools. Kids need they need to learn carpentry, right?
You already have power tools.
Well, they need better power tools and for stuff.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, so that's our budget, and that's what we bought this year, and that's kind of a year in review of our budget. Okay, what have we started? Well, it's summertime. I think we kind of mentioned what we started.
So since our last video, what we started is we kind of, finished.
What have we started?
Finished a lot of everything because it's the end of the year, and we started the Step Up to Writing and just kind of gave them a little taste of it. And we'll really focus in on it next year. Step Up to Writing and 6 Trait Writing and the writing process and how all 3 of those kind of interact together and help them with their writing. So that's what we started, and everything else we just kind of ended for the year. And then we're going to just continue on with math over the summertime.
All right. Okay, what have we stopped? It's kind of the year. And there's nothing fundamentally we've stopped doing that we don't like that we were doing recently, right? There's nothing we said, this doesn't work, we're done with it. No? Okay. I'm still doing my dad class, not for the summertime, but
Yes, you are.
I am. Well, not every day.
No, but you've already taught him some HVAC.
Oh.
You're doing some carpentry.
We're going to do some carpentry. Yeah, we have a little crawl space, and so we may have to do a video on that sometime. We have a little crawl space about 4 feet tall, and it was just dirt and whatnot for storage, but I've been down there for months and rerouting everything to make it a space that we can do some stuff down there, and it might actually turn into a teaching space a little bit.
Well,
we'll see how it goes.
Space for the kids that can go
so they
down
can sit
and
there
do their
and
work.
get a big table.
Yeah.
Because we're somewhat limited on space. We're not bad here, but we're a little limited where we're at right now. But also it's cool to be in a fort. So we went down there and we did the HVAC. So I had to go move all the HVAC so they had more space. And so while I was down there, I taught all the kids how to do HVAC work and taught Corbin how to do electrical work. And so he did pretty good. Mm-hmm. And when Kendall's older, I'll teach her how to do electrical work too. But we were teaching him all those things because that's practical stuff. Because I don't want, there's too many kids who get too academic and don't know how to use a saw.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. Now there's some people, who just they can't do it. I can't dance.
Well,
so if you try to teach me to dance,
That's true. It's true.
But it's rare. And most people, you could probably teach me how to do some kind. You could teach me how to do some kind of dance. I'm sure I had to learn something, but there's too many people who avoid learning how to plumb or saw. Okay, I'll get off that now. I'll get off that now.
You want to make them well-rounded as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. And who knows? They might take a liking to construction work and become welders and build a welding business. Who knows?
Yes.
Get them well-rounded. Okay, that's kind of it for what we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything neat that's happened? End of the year. Corbin keeps getting stuff back from companies. He keeps mailing.
Yes, so every other week I have the kids. Well, so one week they would write a rough draft, and then the next week they would edit and write a final copy and send that letter off. Not an email, an actual letter.
Mm-hmm.
And so every other week they're essentially sending a letter out. Doesn't matter to who or what company or whatever. And Corbin, every company this year he sent to.
Everyone?
Every single one sent something back.
Well, wasn't it the water company? Which one?
LaCroix.
LaCroix sent them the most stuff back, didn't they?
Yeah, they sent him a lot of stuff.
They all drink LaCroix now, and they sent him like 2 hats and 2 T-shirts. Mm-hmm. They sent him a bunch of swag.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just kind of reinstills the human spirit, that...
And then he sent stuff to Bitsbox.
They sent...
He got frustrated because I'm like, well, they're kind of a new company. They might not have... And I'm like, they should know what they're doing.
Department.
Maybe they're just new and don't know how to deal with actual physical mail. They're confused. But it took them a while, but eventually they caught up, and they sent him some stuff, and sent him some stickers and all kinds of cool stuff, and he was excited. He was upset for a while, but they eventually sent him some stuff, so...
And his last letter he sent was to Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly.
Well,
they sent him, I saw I got a note back.
Yeah, he got a note back, because in his letter he essentially... Because they really like the, what's that icky tasting game?
Oh,
They taste all, like, the fish guts and...
Where it's like Russian roulette. It's like you might get a good one and you might get a bad one.
Oh, I forget the name of the game. Anyway, he sent in his letter some examples of horrible tasting jelly bean flavors.
For that game.
And just suggestions. And, oh, by the way, if, you want to, send me some stickers or something like that, I'll
take them off your hands.
I'll do some free advertising for you. And
I'll do a jelly belly dance. Or if you want to give me just a thing of jelly beans, that's fine too.
So they sent him a letter back saying thank you very much for those suggestions, and that they had tried them, but they haven't quite gotten the right recipe to make it taste good.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And he got some stickers and so just some really cool things. Of course, Kendall's upset because she's She hasn't gotten a reply from any of her companies.
Not one? How many has she sent to?
Mm-mm. Just a couple. She usually likes to send. She likes to send personal letters, like to Grandma in Florida.
Oh, well, yeah, she gets letters back.
She likes to do personal letters more than companies because I asked her why, and she says, "I don't like to kiss butt." Essentially, I'm like,
didn't she not kiss butt at all? Like she wrote a letter basically demanding swag from Cartoon Network.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't want to demand swag because
did she write a letter like that?
Very much kiss butt. She's like, I'm like, but if you really like the product, don't you want to let the company know and maybe, like the fact that LaCroix sent Corbin back.
Yeah, all that stuff
and that letter and everything. He's just like a LaCroix loyal person now. He's like, Mom, we don't bring in that other stuff in this house. LaCroix is awesome. Well, you're right, but this other stuff was on sale.
It's good HR.
It is. So just the fact that they take time just to send something is awesome. But Kendall hasn't gotten anything
shows
back.
in the wrong companies. Huh?
I don't, because I think in her letters, she hasn't learned the skill of
to politely ask for something.
Schmoozing. Yeah, to politely ask for something. Because she just doesn't want to do that. That is above her character.
I'd see.
Which, honestly, it's a life skill to ask.
And that's a problem I've always had. I'm better at it now where you know, I hear it. Probably up until I was 25, I had that same attitude. Like, I don't need to smoosh these people.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm above that. And it's like, yeah, if you're thinking like that where you're just kissing butt and being, that's wrong, yeah. But how do you politely grease the wheels?
Yeah.
In the right way where you're not manipulating in a bad way, that you're encouraging and anyway.
Yeah. So Corbin has figured that out. Yeah. And he has gotten responses back because of that.
He's more natural at it. They're kind of polar opposites.
Like you said, he's a very natural writer, and it sounds very it's like he can get minions from writing something down.
He's a
Kendall, on the other hand,
natural influencer.
Yeah, Kendall is a little bit more abrupt.
She's a natural demander. Send me swag or perish.
Yeah, so she wrote to Cartoon Network. That was her last letter. And they still haven't sent anything back, and I'm not so sure they will. And I keep trying to encourage her to write to certain companies that I can pretty much guarantee they'll send something back. I'm not so sure Cartoon Network will.
They probably get a lot of letters.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But boy, if they send something to her, the human spirit comes back.
Sometimes you just need some encouragement, when people don't know, people don't do enough of that. You need to encourage people.
They always, in these companies always get complaints. They never get compliments. So, you would think that they'd be very happy to get compliments.
Yeah, you are when someone compliments you. Yeah, you can move the world for them.
And these are all companies that the kids really, really enjoy. I think in Corbin's LaCroix letter, it essentially said, "My mom is now hooked on your beverage. And because of that, the whole household is now. And we just want to thank you for, helping my mom to be a happy person." That's kind of what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he knows how to schmooze.
He does. So, anyway.
Okay, so that's it, I guess. Yeah. That's the neat stuff. Right. Okay, what's been frustrating recently? Trying to get Corbin to read, but I think I'm trying to figure out how to incentivize him and get him going. Because I really want him. There's that passion. Being a good reader and loving reading is good, and but there's some people who love to read who only read.
This is coming from a person who loves to read, so
I love to read.
It's just.
But there's some people who love to read and they just read romance novels or sci-fi, and that's all they read. And to me, you might be watching TV.
But that is still in the category of a reader.
It's better than nothing. But what I'm hoping, I think is a very good thing, because I want them to become leaders. Leaders are readers. And I hope when he's 35 that he's reading a book or two a month that are technical in his field or interesting history or there's some good novels out there too. But I don't want him just reading these. This year I read 12 classical novels. Okay? This year I read 2 classical novels and 4 technical books on my field and then some leadership books. All right, good. That's what I'd like to get him. And if he loves to read, I love to read, but I stopped reading for like a decade after college because I was an idiot.
Yeah, but the point is you love to read.
The point is I love to read, but also if I can't get him to love to read, just like some people don't love to exercise, I want to get him to know how to read and be able to read and just do it, go and see the benefits of it. Because reading's going to change him. If you start reading good books, it changes you. You start reading good leadership books, you learn how to lead. You start reading good novels, you get inspired.
Well, and the way I look at it,
change him.
I don't like to read. I would rather do 20 other different things before I read a book.
Unless it's a vampire novel.
No, that's not true.
She read through.
So it's nice that I'm here to help him out because he's at a different perspective. He doesn't understand, and so he's trying to motivate him by incentivizing him, and I'm just like, I'm not so sure that's going to work because it wouldn't work for me now as an adult. It wouldn't work for me as a kid, as a high schooler, as a middle schooler, and that wouldn't work for me now. But this is between him and Corbin.
But I think there's I'm still trying to figure out the secret sauce with him on this. But I think I'm not crazy going, can I figure some way to get him to read? I admit I may not be able to get him to love to read. But can I get him to see the good results and going, I'll read because I see the results.
Well, and I think
I'll exercise because I see the results.
Yeah, for me, I want him to become a proficient reader early on in his life here because this is when it really matters. Because you need to read a lot for school. Yeah. You need to read a lot in high school. You need to read a lot in college or vocational school.
It matters after that.
It does. It does. But if he is a good reader early on now, his educational path is easier.
Yeah. Yeah. If I can get him there, that's fine. But I still think there might be a 50-50 chance to flip a switch and make him a great lover of reading.
We'll let you know.
Because I think it's really weird that he has a talent for writing that he could probably develop and he could probably write a book.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to read. Which at 13, it would be weird if he became a good writer and didn't like to read. Yeah. That's strange in my book.
We'll see what happens. And the reason why we're not talking about Kendall is because she loves to read. So Yeah,
and plus she's not, the books I would like to start her, she's not at a level to start reading.
Yeah, I know that.
Better books. She's probably, she can't read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is kind of like the bottom level.
No, but she'll listen to it.
She'll listen to it, yeah. But
she loves to read. She'll take a book and just read it.
Give her.
She's fine.
At least one more year.
Oh, a couple.
Maybe 2. Well, if she's advanced, 1 more, and 2 more, then I'll start. I'll incentivize her too, because I want.
Yeah.
And also, with her, if she loves to read and just starts reading, novels, I want her to encourage her to read.
Don't worry, there's things you're going to have to motivate her to do differently.
That's true. Just give her candy. I'll give you some jelly beans if you read War and Peace. How many jelly beans?
Yeah. That would she'll start to negotiate.
That would be her
She's
answer.
like, I can do War and Peace. How many jelly beans are we talking about?
Yeah.
Are we talking about a year supply?
Because I'll read it.
That's a big book.
She'd probably try right now with enough jelly beans. Okay, so that's what's been frustrating for me. Okay, chatting. We've kind of been chatting this whole time. Mm-hmm. So, school year's over. Summer's here. We have our first full year of school down. We've been doing Monday school too. And overall, we're happy, right?
Mm-hmm. And
kids are happy.
A lot of people have asked me, since you homeschool, aren't you just going to continue? No, I'm not.
You mean continue through the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to continue next year.
Yeah, we're going to continue, but continue through the summer. And my response is, no, we need a break. And my kids are used to a summer break.
Yeah.
So if all of a sudden I pull on them, oh, by the way, we're just going to continue through the summertime, they would be so upset.
Yeah, we're not helicopter, what they call them, tiger moms.
Mm.
We're not here to beat everything. We're not on a schedule. By the age of 16, you have to learn the cello and be on the swim team and just pound, and speak 4 languages. No, you need a summer off and have some fun.
But there are a lot of homeschool families that do continue on in the summertime. But that's also all they know. Yeah. Which is fine.
We're gonna do a little bit.
Yeah, we're
just a light bit, because I don't want them playing video games all day long and just hanging out. There's a little bit,
We'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's gonna be very, very light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having him read books.
Mm-hmm.
But so far they're enjoying their summer.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have them read books for 9 hours a day. Nope. We're not going on field trips for educational reasons every day. Nope. Let them enjoy the summer. But construction, they got to build stuff.
Nope.
I think that's fun. Corbin especially likes learning all the construction stuff at his age, so he's having fun doing that. I think I got to get him to help me build a bench for outside soon. He'll probably like that. Okay, so that's it. First year done. Life is good. Kids are happy. We're happy. And what a crazy year we had. First year of school. We had to move before it. We had heart surgery. We had heart surgery recovery. And we still got everything in. And the kids, after all that, the kids are either beyond where they should be or almost caught up because they were behind in public school, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, one was. The other one was on grade level or ahead. So.
Yeah, so we're kind of on grade level. And by next year, we should be on grade level or ahead on everything, pretty much. Yeah. So, successful first year, I would say. So, and we're all happy. Kids are happy. School's good.
Okay, you're dwaddling.
Okay, I'm dwaddling. Okay, that's the end then. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow us on Twitter under the handle @myiqless, or check out our blog at www.iqless.com.